All right, I have a pretty cool romantic story for you guys.
Tell me the details.
This is the story this is the story of Amanda and Skylar Sorensen from Utah, and they're Mormons, and they have a very unconventional marriage, and I think it's pretty cool and pretty beautiful how they're how they're making it work.
A lot of unconventional marriages come out of Utah, huh? Just like a guy with like 10 wives.
Oh, true, yeah.
Have you seen that documentary?
There's a lot of those polygamous documentaries. Which one you talking about?
I don't know. I just saw one. The one that we saw. This guy was like, "Yeah, I think it's cool to have like 3 wives, but each of them are mad at you, and you gotta like you gotta apologize."
He's trying to get everyone to feel bad for him. It was great.
Is that one called the Me and My 10 Headaches?
I can't. Yeah, no.
Sounds about right.
Not, but
I did all of them though. They seem pretty.
How many have you seen?
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of documentaries.
Yeah.
And it never seems like, I think guys, they get into the situation saying, ooh, I'm gonna be like, damn Bilzerian, I'm gonna fuck all these girls,
That's
right?
what they think. That's what their fantasy is.
That's what they think. And you see the reality, and the guy looks like he hasn't slept in fucking 20 years.
Well, it's because the whole thing is to expand the kingdom, so they're having, like, the whole point of having multiple wives is to have multiple kids, like so many kids, as many kids as you can.
And they have a lot.
So they have a lot of kids, and then they have a lot of wives, and then they gotta provide and also cater to all of them.
Dan Bilzerian's hope is to have no kids at all.
Yeah.
While having as much sex as humanly possible.
Yep.
No kids, no wives.
All of it.
Fulfilling. So for Amanda and Skylar Sorensen, their unconventional marriage is the fact that she's straight and he's gay. And they're both 25 and they're making it work.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
But what about when she wanna suck some dick?
they're making it work. They don't really go into detail like that. So
Why? That's all anyone wants to know.
I do.
I was kind of wondering that too.
That's the most important thing.
Maybe she's asexual. Like maybe she doesn't.
So they don't fuck this, it's just a marriage of...
Just straight.
Oh,
so she's
okay.
heterosexual.
Yeah, but would it be if one of them wanted be sexually gratified, right? Because that's kind of what you do in a marriage, right? Like where you kind of like, yeah, but like where do they get that fulfillment then? Or do they both not need it? I need to know.
Well, yeah. What if she just doesn't care for sex?
But I need to know.
They say, so I quote, they do say that...
Because if they both don't need it, that kind of makes sense. They're like, we're best fucking friends.
Okay, here we go.
Is sex or sex separate than the marriage?
Regarding the sex aspect, I had to skip down a little bit.
Thank God.
Just skip over
Skylar,
that.
the guy in the relationship, he said that sexual attraction came from, trial and error. Okay, sexual attraction. It came from trial and error, and a lot of practice. We have our struggles, of course, like every marriage, but me being gay hasn't been the biggest issue in our marriage. It's been communication, normal marriage things. So he kind of skips around and doesn't really answer this.
So they do it.
Yeah, they do it, but for him, it's like there's more of a mental Olympics, I think, to get to that.
You think they got married first and then he found out he was gay? And then
No, they got together knowing he was gay. So they're Mormons, and so in the Mormon religion, you can't go to heaven unless you're in a marriage of man and wife, man and woman.
So he's trying to secure his heaven card.
That's the ticket to heaven, yeah. And
But
so
is he allowed to have sex with a man and still be married to the woman?
I don't know if that's
no
something
sex.
that they're even into. Like that's not even in their picture of like having sex with men but then staying married together. I don't think that's even in their on the radar.
What if he's openly gay, but he's not in gay relationships because it goes against his religion, but then he decides to stay faithful to his religion by being in a straight relationship, which
it's called a celestial marriage, a union between man and woman.
Yeah, so he gets his heaven card, so he secures that, and he's like, well, if I have to get married anyway, I guess I'll do it with my best friend, and she finds him attractive or whatever the case hers is. It sounds like a complicated thing like that.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that sounds pretty complicated, but it doesn't seem like he's interested in having sex with men. At least he's not, bringing attention to that desire.
But he's like, hey, I'm gay, but I don't want to have sex
so he
with
went
you.
viral because of his Twitter account. Someone came across his Twitter account and his bio reads, gay and happily married to an amazing woman. And that got shared around Twitter and he went viral.
Pretty interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, and then another tweet of his, which was also shared around and went viral, he wrote, being in a mixed orientation marriage is like going to Disneyland and having some people tell you you'd be better off at Six Flags. Six Flags may have more roller coasters, but it'll never beat the happiest place on earth. So he was just respecting his wife and saying, hey, my marriage is happy, man. And back the fuck up. Because a lot of people going viral for this, you know, you're gonna get a lot of people with their opinions and whatnot. So
how can you not have questions though?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are your questions? What are our questions?
Maybe
right
the
now?
happiest place on earth for him is heaven, so that's what he probably means.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I mean, if it depends on what you value more, I guess. If you're, you know, if you truly you're in this religion and that's where your values are, and you're like, I want to get in heaven, then that's what I'm living my life for. Then that makes sense for him. I'm all about like letting people live their lives and like, if that's you want that life, like. Good for you, man. Like,
yeah, if it makes you happy.
Everyone's about like.
He needs to cater to my needs.
If he's gonna be gay, I want him to be gay and happy.
That's right.
That's so true. Yeah, it's like one of his.
He can't be gay and straight and happy. You can't have all that.
If he asked people for advice and then they said, "I think you'd be happier in a gay marriage," then that's different. But it doesn't sound like he asked
Did you
anybody
hear his
for advice.
bio?
It sounds like he's asking.
Yeah, he's begging for all of our input.
Yeah, he wanted to go viral.
Totally.
Yeah, so since going viral, he's tweeted a couple different things. So for this one, he said, "What I've learned from going viral: 1. There are a lot of good people, but also a lot of bitter ones who are only willing to tolerate the decisions regarding your sexuality if it fits their very small political box. And then 2, my wife is even more amazing than I realized." So I guess the wife has been very supportive of him and through like just trying to like figure out like his identity and also commitments to religion and marriage.
Are they gonna try to have kids?
Yes. So he's also said that I quote, I've always pictured this realization of family in my life: marrying a woman, having children, raising those children. And so they did have a child, but the child died 24 days after birth. It was born less than 25 weeks into the pregnancy. So
this guy has a lot of discipline. You know, to like, I am this sexual orientation, but since I want to go to heaven, this is my religion, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna be married to someone that I'm not sexually attracted to, and I'm gonna commit to that for life.
Maybe his definition of marriage isn't romantic and just sex and all that stuff too. Like, maybe it's like, well, there's all these other benefits. This is a solid person that I trust, and that'll probably be a good mother and all this, and then like, you know, maybe those are the things that he values higher than romantic love.
There's so many married dudes out there who are gay, who are in straight
And women.
like relationships. Yeah, exactly. And then they have kids and like all that kind of shit, and but they repress it, and it sounds like he's like, nah, I'm not doing that.
So he's open about it, but he's still gonna carry on with this lifestyle.
Yeah, the difference between him and like some of those guys you're talking about is most of the guys stay in the closet for most of their lives, and maybe they come out in old age, you know, or after the wife dies in their old age, then they're like, oh, I can finally be gay openly. Whereas this guy, it's just like he went in like, hey, I'm gay and I want to be married to a woman. And that's like, I don't know, that sounds refreshing too in this time and day and time. I don't know why. I really like it, but it seems to have stirred up a lot of, you know, controversy in the LGBT community, and a lot of the backlash is actually coming from the LGBT community. And so he said, we made this decision together. We just asked for the same grace and understanding that other people in the LGBT community are asking for, because we're two consenting adults.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just made a choice. Like, just support it. It doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, but some people are very insecure about themselves sometimes, so everything has to line up with the way that they live. And like, if they're out and proud and they're gay, they have, everyone else needs to do that too. And like,
it just throws a glitch in their matrix when they see, wait, you're gay and in a straight relationship and you're happy. What the fuck?
You're repressing yourself. Yeah. And he probably is, because he's a Mormon. But hey, let him do his thing.
He right now is saying, I made this choice. I'm happy with my decision. I'm a consenting adult. Leave me alone. Then leave him alone.
Yeah, who are you to say that, oh, you're actually not really happy, you're holding it in or whatever. It's like, fucking let him be,
You don't know if he's happy or not, you don't know.
Yeah.
True. And this is Skylar and Amanda. That's Amanda, Skylar. And then that's Skylar.
He looks very happy there.
He looks happy.
Super happy.
And Amanda.
I wonder if she took those photos because she's holding the camera.
She actually does she runs a video production
How
company.
does she take that picture if she's holding
He probably took it.
This photo's not as good as the photo she's taken of him though. So I'm like, she's the photographer for sure. Yeah, and then they've seen professionals too to help him deal with like I guess their situation. Yeah, the couple called upon Dr. Ty Mansfield. He's a private practice marriage and family therapist, and he said whatever path you choose, there are healthy ways and unhealthy ways to navigate that path. And he adding that the Sorensens can find authentic sexual expression through nurturing of the personal and spiritual bond. So I think a lot of the sexual expressions are stems from I guess their spirituality and stuff like that too. So it's very very deep.
He should just get conversion therapy.
Jesus.
But the idea of marriage is like not only changing constantly with time, but even like right now in different cultures, it's just different. There's so many different definitions, and it's like just fucking do what you want, you know? Like who the fuck cares?
Life is so short to be dictating other people's lives. Like you live your life.
Who the fuck cares, man?
If that person's not hurting you or anybody, like just let them alone.
I just think like if anyone can stay together and it's happy and it's working and it's healthy for them and it doesn't damage the lives of the kids, that's successful, because over 50% ends up in divorce, right? Yeah. So like the point, if you can just stay together and make it work and you have kids that you raised up to be like decent human beings, why is that so fucking hard to do? Because that's not the norm. That's actually rare. Yeah. It's fucking weird.
It's hard.
Sounds so
marriage
basic,
is hard
man.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's just like too complicated, dude. Just fucking do what works for you.
True. Yeah, in another tweet, he said, if you're expecting or even rooting for my marriage to fail to affirm your worldview...
That's fucked up.
First of all, rude. Second of all, you're going to be sorely disappointed. So he's very adamant about keeping this together and making it work. So.
I feel like whether it's like straight couples trying to control how gay people are or vice versa, it's all because they don't have control and happiness in their own lives that they need to project that onto others.
Exactly.
Well, it's just the same as when someone finds religion. Like if like a lot of people find Christianity later in life, and for them it's like, oh my God, I wish I had known about this my whole life. And then they come off as preachy because they want everyone to feel the same way they felt, but they don't realize that they're just like enforcing their beliefs onto other people instead of letting other people find it for themselves. You know.
True.
I give this guy a year.